Hi everyone, this is the third Phala chamber. I'm today's host, Ri. I'm the Korean ambassador of Phala, responsible for the promotion and education of Phala Korean community. Chamber is a live broadcast of Phala community. It is a moment of direct communication between the team and the community. Invite outstanding contributors from the Phala community as a host. There will be 1 to 3 community calls each month on Phala Discord channel. Every live broadcast will have a replay video on Phala YouTube channel. So, welcome to join our meeting. Today we are going to talk about secure mining in this call. I'm very happy to have Marvin and Hang as our guests. Hi Marvin, Hang, how are you doing?
Great. Hi, it's a pleasure to have you here today. And as I can see, the community grows very fast recently, especially in Korea. So I think the contribution you made for Phala at the moment is quite important, and it already works. So I know that you are also now involved in farming. So and you tried a lot to also helping other miners. So please introduce a little bit about yourself and maybe share your mining experience before. So it's the overall going well.
For sure. So I'm the Phala, as I said, I'm Phala ambassador, and I'm also the ambassador of Alpha Network, Khala Network, and Hydra DX, and the founder of Parachain Korea and Collator Node Warriors. Overall, mining experience was really exciting and fun because I could see different miners have some outstanding strategies tailor-made. Especially, I see some miners are really smart and rich and understanding this whole process of gamification within this application. So they simply put their own Phala tokens to max operational amount of token for each worker node and set cap to number accordingly with a high commission fees. So I think miner with sufficient amount of capital can never lose this competition, or they might not even need this competition, nor the delegators. So it was pretty interesting. And from the user's perspective and from my previous experience in many different parachain communities, I could see most users are still not very used to Polkadot.js application. So they need more guidance in order for them to be able to fully control their Phala tokens with various extrinsics and Phala application. So I guess we ambassadors have to spend more time on that and try harder. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. First, I think the product JS and users always have to get used to this product JS on purchase subscriptions. That's some like experience problem. If we need to help users to get through. That's why we built I don't have the network. But of course, there's a lot of improvements should be done. Based on people's feedback. And yeah, and for the professional or experience or the people who want to meet Phala token from this system, I think it's quite a very interesting period during the past 2 weeks. First, we launched our mining system 2 weeks almost like 10 days ago. And before that, we have very, very long testing period. It's almost 6 to 12 months. And I think the launching process is a little bit experimental. People always have to join first and read our wiki and learn how to use the SGA to get their hardware testing. And after that, they always need to adjust their BIOS to fit to get a remote test station in the right way. And if the hardware is after testing, then they need to learn more about Phala tokenomic and follow the guidebook to process. And it always takes some days to learn and study and test. But I think it's not as easy as other, for example, mining project. It's just, to be frank, it's something new, and it's worth it because after you do all of the grateful learn and test, you can truly use your CPU, providing your computation power to Phala network to get your mint token as an earning process. So yeah, and like I said, I think I'm very, very happy to see there are now over, let's check the board. There are over 7,000 miners online right now. I know it's not easy, but I think it's worth it. We are beginning something pretty experienced and pioneer level now that I think this is a true CPU mining rather than mining system. So there are over 7,000 miners at the moment, and there are over 50 million Phala tokens staking for this system. And this is only, Phala network, the same technical and the same process will remains into Phala network, which
now Phala is a completely new model, so it's harder for people to get involved, but it's also more interesting. There are a lot of things to figure out.
I believe there were around only 5,000 active miners 2 days ago, but now we have over 7,000 miners. There was a fast growth, amazing, right? Computing services are officially launched now. So Marvin, could you give us an overall review of the performance with the first week's mining?
Sorry guys, we haven't launched our analytics board at the moment, but we are working on it. It will come out soon, so that everybody can check out the total network performance and secure workers, how many secure workers, how many CPU cores, or how many people staking. All of these important analytics data you can check out. It will come soon. But before that, we have some very basic numbers. There are over 50 million Phala tokens been staking or delegating in the mining system, and there are over 7,000 secure workers online at the moment. And in the meanwhile, I believe that also have some running data to analyze. I think for the first couple of days, many delegators are quite confused about the delegation board. And for example, they don't know which pool should they stake in, and they don't know, how to justify which pool is good and which is not so good. So we made some updating during the last days, like filters, so that we defaultly add a filter like a pool with workers APR above 0 and commission less than 100 and remaining 0. All of these are very important parameters to pick up your good choice. So And we also add like the identity on-chain identity system to so that if you are pool owner and you put your owner address to on-chain identity, it will also show on the delegate board. I think brand is a little bit important because after the growth of the pool numbers, you are uh, becoming very hard who should you pick up. So for example, on Polkadot validators, on-chain identity is a very important parameter to choose your own validator. So that's on Phala mining. For example, if you see that there are some pools with names, it means that they are, they at least they have they have they are brave. They think they are good enough to show their branding and name to all of the delegators. So I think the pools with names is something worth to consider at least. Yeah, and we also found some problems like many pools based on now design. Many pools change their commission after the delegate taking for them, and we are also working on that. But if you find such activities, bad behaviors, welcome to shoot your question in a forum, and we have we have a specific chat just to collect the bad behavior pools. So yeah, any specific data you are interested in?
I think that's enough.
Okay.
And I just want to know more about any further mining development we are going to improve on our application. So maybe I should ask Han about this.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are a lot of things to improve now. And among them, I think the most critical thing is some bug fixes. Like now, there's a notable problem that is like if you as a staker you delegate your stake to some pool, and the pool the pool owner has the right to change the commission rate at any point. And this is very annoying. Like some pools, they are very honest, but there are also some pool malicious. So like they set a very, very low commission rate and attract you to stake to the pool, right? But after that, they immediately rise the commission rate. And now the mechanism we have is that of course we allow the delegator to remove their stake from the pool, but there is a delay of 7 days, and the 7-day delay is it's not super long, but it's still something. So the delegator could be in a very bad situation, like they stake to a pool, but then they cannot get any reward because the pool owner set the commission rate to 100%. And then the only thing they can do is to withdraw their token from the pool. But then it only happened after the 7 days. So it means that the pool owner can get free stake for 7 days, and that is unfair. So I think a quick fix would be we are going to ask the pool owner they can only change the commission rate after some delay, and the delay can be the same as the withdrawal delay. So although not decided yet, but likely we're going to make a proposal on the blockchain. Like then in the future we will ask all the change to the commission rate to put a delay of 7 days. So it will be much better. So for example, this is the first, I think the first priority we're going to develop. beyond that, there are also something to improve, and I think two things are very critical. One is the state of the P runtime. So now, if like we restart P runtime, then you need to resynchronize everything from the first block. So that is at least 30 or 40 minutes. The improvement we can do is that we can save the state of PRAM, just like saving the gameplay data, right? The next time you can load the save you did in the past. So we call that persistent the state. So in this way, the synchronize will be very, very fast. So I think this is a great improvement we can have. Another thing I have been mentioned a lot is the CPU consumption. And I think from the beginning, we always don't we always don't want to put consume the 100% of the CPU from the mining client. That is not our goal, but just some middle point. We have to do that to ensure the CPU is a 100 CPU, not shared for multiple mining clients. But there could be some better way to improve that. At least maybe we can reduce the CPU consumption from 100% we have now to, I don't know, maybe 50%. Is already a large improvement. But ideally, I think if we cannot having any additional CPU consumption, if like we can have some mechanism that doesn't require 100% CPU usage, it will be much better. So I think that are the two biggest improvement we are considering and thinking about how to develop that.
So any other thing Martin can share about the next operational plan?
Yeah, I think my focus would be on, for example, like Han mentioned, the first priority is the CPU occupied situation and the commission situation, and I think we can do actual experienced improvement on commission situations. Getting some heads up on the delegating would be helpful. And in another hand, I see that also many miners are quite confused about like the total network data and what's the, is it normal that their machine performance compared with others, right? Check it in any time. It's not so convenient, and you need some script to help you analyzing the whole picture. And for that, we will updating the data analytics as soon as possible. And in another hand, for the Phala token holders, they are still quite, how to say, they're quite confused or angry about why the transfer not over. I think many people would ask this question. So for this part, I think we are working very hard on it. After we fix some bugs, and so for some certain bugs, we will like proposal as a motion into the community to vote open transfer as soon as possible. It will come really soon. And in the meanwhile, we also do our last testing for open the bridge between Khala to Ethereum, so that your Phala token on Khala is transferable and tradable. And but as a heads up before that, there are testing before that the bridge fees on Ethereum smart contract would be a little bit expensive because it is Ethereum. You can never expect it to be cheap. So, but I think after only the bridge after it's transferable, there are many dealers will come out to keep the balance. And our next step is that we will try our best to enable the token tradable, not happening on Ethereum, but also happening on, for example, on Parachain, for example, Karura network maybe. So your Khala token can natively trade on Parachain, and it will save a lot of cost. So this is my next major job and goal. Open improvement the mining transfer and delegation experience, and try our best to open the transfer and bridge, and after that, I think the team's focus will be more on application or ecosystem building, and of course technical ecosystem building. So so that's my answer.
Yeah, from many communities, what I witnessed, there are many holders are struggling with like how they can sell from substrate to Binance, for example. So they can only buy from Binance for now, but they cannot move it back to Binance. So I think it would be great if we can maybe list our substrate-based token on Binance and for Kraken maybe. So then user experience will get much more better.
May I ask that, for example, it's not like, for example, Korean community using Kraken in freeway, like they can easily using Kraken.
Sorry, I wasn't really, I couldn't really hear you.
Sorry, I mean, it's like Korean community can use Kraken.
Yeah, they use Kraken a lot.
Okay, cool. That's that's something I don't know first, but it's glad to hear, because I think Kraken I can't share more, but we are working closely to make that thing happen. And and the exchanges like Coin One support Korean community very well, but they just support the ERC20, and so. But I think Kraken is one of the exchanges support substrate the best. So
trading volume from Coinbase is not really big, so there's not much trading volume in Coin One, and most of Koreans, they are holding Polkadot on Kraken because they don't have any releasing date for. There's no frozen time for unstaking, So many Korean people are using Kraken for that. And there are like 3 parachain tokens are already listed on Kraken. So I think many local community will love it when we can list our Phala token on Kraken. But now it's not the time for talking about listing. So should we move on?
Sure.
Yeah, so we have received a lot of questions from users in advance through Google Forms. So let's ask Marvin and Han to answer these questions for us.
Sure.
Yep, number 1, it is one of the most frequently asked questions. So number 1, since few of the stakers seems to be using handlers to contact pool owners, what do you think is the best way to communicate with the delegators? Han or Marvin?
Yeah, Marvin, you can go first.
Yep. So basically, they are asking, they are struggling with communicating with pool owners, so that when pool owners raise the commission fees from 0 to 100, then then the stakers have nothing to argue about, So how can they communicate efficiently?
It matches the first problem I was talking about.
Yeah, right.
I think the communication is very important. Now there's no very good way to from just from the delegate page. Now it can show the name set by the pool owner, but the name can be set to arbitrary value. You can put any name into your pool account, so it shows in the web page. But I think it's more like a good feedback. Personally, I think it's nice if we can have a link for each pool. So each pool, they can link their pool to a pool, maybe a forum post or something like that, describing the pool itself, and they can leave their contact info, for example, their Telegram or Discord handler. So and they can even create their own small chat room. So if the delegator or the pool owner have something to announce, they can talk in the room. And I think in the other staking system, for example, Polkadot, this is more common to see. Like nearly all the Polkadot validators have some way to introduce people their profile and maybe leave some contact, and some of them even have their website, like these professional stakers.
Yeah, it's kind of like an identity of Polkadot.js.
Yeah.
How about just yes, Marvin?
Sorry, I have to add some comments here. We already use the Polkadot validation system for nearly 2 years since the first day Kusama launch. Based on my experience on Polkadot validations, I can see that the marketing, the market. I think the market performance is very important. Like for example, if the validators or the workers on Phala with brand can be more, high rank, for example, than the anonymous workers, then it appears they have more profitable or more, I would say, volume if you claim yourself as an ID or brand, and if these IDs and names are verified. That's why identity verification is very important. And we have all of those things doing work based on the working part of days, but we haven't made the brand names for these workers so important, so that the workers are willing to put their brand on it. And only if the delegation board make the adjustments to improve the rank of the brand workers, then I believe that, based on my experience, the brand would be one of the most important factor to help the delegators make their choice. And this will extremely helpful. And secondly, on the early stage of Kusama and Polkadot, even Moon River, there are some programs such as the long tail validators program to, as Hao mentioned, there's a place to explain who you are and why you joined the economic, something like this. But all of these things are based on the fact that the long tail workers can be stable, and it can really be activity. In the past 2 years, the situation in Kusaman pulled out is that, for example, as a staker of DOT and KSM, I never really communicated with any validator, but I only pick up the guys who I trusted in. This brand, run stable, have multi-numbers of workers. The bigger they are, the more I like it. Even their commission might be a little bit higher than others. So I think my perfect how to say in my view, I think the best way to solve the current high priority problem is that we importance the power of your commission, your brand, and your identity. And I think we can already start it on our delegation, experience. And in the meanwhile, let's improve the rules for the commission changing. And these two parties will solve a lot of problem. And we can also work something out for the small workers to make them more contribution and more branding in the community. We can help them that.
Yeah, I totally agree, because self-marketing, self-PR is really important. And so because of that, I think I should propose two things on our application. First is, maybe we can, for now, if you look at the application, you can only search their pool ID in this time. So maybe we can improve our technical. In the next technical phase, we can add a search their brand name or search their something identity of the worker. Then they can brand branding themselves more effectively. And maybe we can put a link icon besides the brand name on the owner, so that delegators can click on their link, and then you will automatically link to their community, such as Telegram. Then they can communicate more effectively, right?
Yeah. That sounds really helpful.
Yeah, maybe it helps, but maybe not. But all right. So number 2. APR and claimable rewards. It's about APR. So at the launch of staking, claimable rewards were higher than in given APR calculation. Recently, the APR claimable rewards are lower than the given APR calculations. So was it by mistake paid out too high rewards and now lower to compensate for this mistake?
Let me think how to answer this. I think the APR on the delegation board is a truly reflection the APR when you stake in, and we are improve some. We are updating something so that you can clearly know the before APR and after APR when you stake. For example, when you stake, it could be, let's say, 50% annually. And after you stake in, because of the pool size is increasing, and but workers is not. So each Phala token stake in APR could reduce into, let's say, 40%, and people can only see 50 at the moment. And I think adding before and after is one important part. The second thing is there's some reasons why this system is not calling like the staking. It's calling delegating. It's because there are multi layers for APR. For example, for miners, the APR is not calculating in this way because they are not just how to say, it's a for the miners, the real APR is based on fiat calculation. For example, you put $1,000 in buying your machines, and you need to mint out Phala token, and based on Phala token price and the amount, you can only calculate your own APR. And above that is the staking Phala tokens for these workers APR. It's a true APR for workers because no matter how the delegators act in or withdraw, it majorly will only reflect to the total pool share, but not for some specific workers who are already bonding with Phala tokens. So I think for workers, the API is based on the tokens already staking in and the tokens being top. And for delegators, it's the third layer is that people have to all of the pool sides will share the profit based on this pool commission, right? So so if you put, for example, a large number of tokens staking, it will it means that the total pool APR will reduce, and I think that's as how mentioned before. We have so many things to improve, and this is one of it. Before and after is very important. And the second thing is communicate, community education. Is that unlike staking, there's no there's no guideline for APR. For staking, because it's the whole system, the whole tokenomics need to set a line for example, like Polkadot algorithm, based on your staking rate in the total network, then the APR could rise and down based on that number. But for Phala mining, it's purely it's more like DeFi mining. It's more like DeFi mining. It's not like proof of staking. So that's the major difference between these two systems. So in DeFi mining, your APR is have so many parameters to check in, but it's basically based on two things. One is subsidy. Second thing is the pool TVL. Right. So of course, in Pancake and Uniswap, the real activities volume in this pool also will be your major API income. So three things plus together make your APR. And in our system, I think TVL is also important because the larger the pool is, the least the workers have, then the possibility that your APR will be reduced could come true. And the second thing is For us, the second thing is the numbers in the pool. If you add some money in this pool, and this pool owner doesn't add any workers anymore, so your API will be definitely reduced. But if the pool owner, if you add some money in and the pool owner also add some workers in, then the pool APR will more stable, and it could even be higher. I know the problem. I know it's just a little bit complicated, and we need to do it a little bit. I think that we can start with the before and after data show on the pump up when you stake in means. And after that, I also think brand is a little bit important, because branding pools, for example, they can be more stable and instantly working. And the more workers in this pool, the more stable it is. I think that's my insight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think our application is a mixture of proof of work and proof of stake. So it is kind of hard to calculate the exact number of APR in our platform. So,
and believe me, when the mainnet launch on the Polkadot, the APR will be also another crazy level.
Yeah. All right. The third question is from me, and I want to ask: is there a limit to those online or active pools or active work miners? So, if there is no limit, how can pool owners or worker nodes ensure their profit or motivation to recoup their node operational costs?
I can take first, then Han can add some comments based on that. This is a really tricky question, First, I think all of the mining ecosystem, they're not guaranteed. It's like a naturally marketing evolution situation. And the miners always can find a way for their best fit. For example, if I'm living in a high electric price area, then I won't be very interested in mining Bitcoin and Ether. But there are at the same time anywhere in the world, there will be some lower price electric price area, and they will mint Bitcoin. So the cost itself is quite different from different countries, different, even in one country, different areas. For every people is different. So the people who can gain profit from it will join, and the people who can't will be out. But the things on crypto is not that cool, it's not 100% as I described. First, from my insight at the moment, I think the hardware who mint Phala token itself is cheap. It's not something so expensive. It's not ASIC. It's just general computer servers. And if you rent the computer from, let's say, the cloud platform, it would be already a little bit more expensive than other miners. So if you are able to buy hardware directly, it will reduce some costs already. And secondly, the energy cost. The energy cost for Phala, I think, is one of the most. I think it's for now it's not showing very. How to say? The energy cost for Phala is not meant to be expensive. And for now, the major problem is the occupation for CPU. As I mentioned, we will improve that. And after that, I believe that the energy cost will reduce a lot. And compared with any other mining activities, it's the energy cost for Phala is I think it's one of the most cheapest maybe. And yeah, so I think for the cost part, we are meant to build a easy to break even mining system, not hard one. So all of those things people are not pleasure at the moment. Some people is just a system. It's new, and but we will improve a lot. And on the other hand, for the staking cost, I think for the staking cost is purely like it's very like DeFi. So if people are interested to earn maybe even 10% APR, they will be interested. So it's a game theory based marketing activity between the system mint out reward the miners and the delegators. So if delegators are happy with like even 10% annually will pay for staking, they will do it. And now it seems a little bit crazy because there are just 7,000 workers online and there are over 50 million Phala tokens in the pool. So it's not, I think it's not finalized balanced situation. Right, I think in the coming weeks, people might still add in more workers, or people will withdraw some money from the staking pool. But now it's not the balance point. But of course, for the operation cost question, I think there are not many ways to ensure the profit. But it's a Khala is a country network, and the total reward pool is 10 million file tokens for all periods mint out. And if we win the Polkadot solution, and we can launch the Phala network, the I think it's very, very, very easy to break the even. And Ben, and your question could be why, what could be like why there are so many workers, but they are still profitable. And so that's how our system works. We are designed to can take over 100K servers online all the time. So now it's like the start.
Yeah, I know blockchain is opens for everyone. So I know there's limits, but I think there should be at least a certain huddle for for delegators at least, because if there are like thousands and millions of pools and working nodes, then delegators will be someday somehow confused, or they have to do many research in order to delegate their assets. So I think there should be a certain limit or huddle against the pools. Yeah, that was just an idea.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, sounds like we can. Hello, is it okay to hear? Okay, yeah. No, I was just want to say, probably, in the long run, we're going to have how to say that? Maybe the ecosystem will evolve on its own. Like, we may going to have a more a better way to allow the different pool owners to advertise their pool, and among them some well known, like some professional pool, they run smoothly with professional operation, and they can get they can get a little bit larger rewards, but at the same time, people still wants to contribute to them. And I want to add to Marvin's talk about the consumption. So just like what I mentioned in the development side, the CPU consumption now is 100% CPU if you give it all your cores. But if in the future, of course, a very important thing is to lower down that, because we don't want to just burn the power for nonsense, right? So, and after we launched the computation task, or we call it maybe confidential smart contract, then it will be the execution of the smart contract to get rewarded, not for just staying idle. If you check the Polkadot.js page and the mining state, you will see there are two mining states. One is mining idle, and now everyone who are mining idle. Idle means is doing nothing. It's just waiting for task. But there's also another state called mining active. That means this miner is running some real smart contract. It's not enabled yet, but in the future it will be something. So yeah, I think in the long run, the wasting of the power will be mitigated first and completely removed in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for your answers. And yeah, so number 4. What additional key feature will be added to app UI? And for example, buttons to hide inactive pools, hide inactive workers, set alarm messages, or like they can send messages within our platform, or maybe they can maybe binding all the same brands into one card, one list, and then if you click on the list, it will unfold the other same pool from the same brands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Actually, our team already made the feature discussion last week, and we put it in our to-do list, and based on our discussion, I think inactive pools and hide inactive workers is something should be considered. And for now, if you check out the filters, above, it is something you can already use now, and some high priority ones are the default filtered, and there also will be some filter that you can manually choose, like the commission not 100 or something like this, and for for the bad behaviors of the pools, we also like brainstorm something like we can put our information card on the top of it, so that everybody can check out which pools already been reported as bad behaviors, and you can avoid that. But I would say it's pretty tricky. All of the decisions we considering right now is that we want to help people to make their best choice, like which one is the I want to show all of the features of the activities data for each pool so that people can make clearly and easily for their decision. But it's also very tricky is that if the app have too much power to take some pools in the top rank and take some pools in the bottom rank, it's not something I'd love to see as well, because first it's dangerous. It also means that we have so many power that we can, make some pool rich, make some pool not rich. Secondly, is that I think for the not so activities, or for the pools with the least workers, they should got their chance as well, and. But of course, I think the first priority is that make people, more clear, not more easy to make their decision, but they make their decisions and their own. The system shouldn't be a suggestion so much. That's my personal idea, but I think we are quite far from the situation that Phala app can clearly show all important data and all important message to the community. I think we haven't finished that yet. And in my view, our next big step is that we can help all delegators to see more clearly and more naturally for the pool's data performance. Like, is your workers mint out token in the leverage situation rather than other workers, or is your pool always what's the APR situation happened in the past months? Is it increasing all the time, or it's reduced so much? Something like this. I think these numbers are very important to the delegators to make their choice. So data analyzing for each pool and for the whole network is a very high priority for our work. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another issue is if the miner is really rich, so they can able to purchase millions of Phala tokens and stake their own with 100% commission fee on their own pool, then they will be exposed in the first series of ranking of the delegation page. Then I think it is also kind of like abusing. So
yeah, you're right.
It's unfair for not so rich ones, right?
Yeah. I think you're totally right.
Yeah, but I don't think we can change this as well.
But we are very lucky that for now each pool only have they have the limit, two limits. First limit is each pool can only have certain numbers of workers. For example, 100 is some are a little bit over 100, but let's say 150, maybe it is the top limit for each pool. So even though they have, I mean, this is the best that these rich guys can do. The second thing is that if you adjust, if you staking your own token for so many, it also means that you are not willing to give a high. You are not willing to give a lower commission, and commission rate is also a very important factor for the delegator to make their choice. So this is pretty tricky. The third limit is that based on your VE, your V performance when you registering your worker. you got a limit for how much you're staking. You can't staking for unlimitedly as a beginning. And if, for example, you have 100 worker, and each worker's V max is a 30K, and it also means that your staking could be, let's say, 20K, and you stake your soul rate, but you can only stake 20K for each worker. And if you stake as a stake max for each worker, then if you put more money in the pool, it also means your APR will definitely reduce, and it will not helpful for your rank. So when delegators are making their choice, they will not see you on the first page. So what I mean is, it should be a balance such as this description.
Yeah, that's kind of a relief. Yeah, thank you. So next question. What is the way to split the reward in a stake pool with different worker nodes owner? Is it possible to know the contribution of each node in the pool? Know the contribution of each node pool.
Yeah, I think I can answer this. If just for getting the data, it is possible. On our blockchain, we have a way to get the actual mined token amount from the blockchain. So for each worker, if we got the worker public key, we can check the mining account associated with the public key, and then we can get the there is a field called total reward, and that is the total mined token by this worker. So for example, if you got a pool and there are two workers, one is smaller, another is more powerful, then these two workers will be distinguished by their total reward. But in terms of splitting the reward, we don't have other ways beyond just the stake pool. Stake pool just treat every besides the owner, every staker are the same. So the more you stake, the more you can get. That's proportionally distributed. So for the stake pool itself, I don't think there's other ways to distribute the funds. And of course, feedback are welcome. But so far, I don't think we have any plan in our mind to change this mechanism. So yeah, I think we can collect more feedback. But for big pools, I don't think the pool should rely on stake pool to make their token distribution. It's for Bitcoin or Ethereum, all this pool operated in a semi centralized manner. So basically, the pool got all the reward, and then the pool can decide how to distribute the reward to the participants. And that's totally flexible. You can design your own rule to distribute the rewards. And for pools, if a pool wants to build a mining pool, not a stake pool, a mining pool wants to build on top of Phala protocol, I also suggest to do something similar.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great advice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's about it. So can I ask you one final question before we end?
Sure.
Yeah, so I saw from our white paper, the block rewards is decreasing every 6 months by 25%. Is that correct?
For Phala, yeah.
Oh, for Phala, not Khala.
Yeah, I got your question. I think for Phala, the reduced rate and the timetable, you can find it on our wiki. let me answer this in this way. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in understanding Phala tokenomics, you can check the table here. You can see on Khala network, it's like the budget for mining is 10 million, and the halving period is 45 days. And the halving discount is 25, the same as a Phala. But but the halving period is different. For Phala, it's 180 days, and for Khala, it's 45 days.
Oh, right. This is actually from my community members. They want to ask why the halving period is this fast. I think they think this is really fast for halving period. Is there a special reason why?
Yeah, but if you check out the halving discount, it's not the same as Bitcoin or many other projects. It's just 25% reduced.
Oh, okay. I think 25% is still not too small. It's big.
Yeah, I mean for Khala, the reason is that we have very limited reward pool for total miners, and because Khala is also taking the burden to do all of the experience testing for so for longer term. Our expecting is that in the next 6 months to 12 months, we can launch on Polkadot. We saw that when Khala network is not finishing mint all, or it reduced, let's say 50% already. But in the meanwhile, you can smoothly remove or transfer your machines into Phala. So that's that's the reason why Khala have a very faster halving period. We have limited budget, and we are not expecting Phala mining instance so long. And after Phala launch on Polkadot, you can move your machines to Phala. And on Phala is not that so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it kind of related to like Kusama relay chains block production time, because they have shorter time for block producing comparing to Polkadot, right? So is it kind of related to that?
Yeah, I mean, Khala mining, I think, of course, it's a little bit related to the purchase lot period. Like we only have 1 year for Khala. But in another, I think the major reason is that the Khala is an experimental canary network for Phala. And we are not looking for example, the whole next year, we only work on Phala. I think Phala is more important. So, I mean, for community, try your best at the moment. It have the highest, let's say, ROI. But after it compared with Phala reward, it's nothing on Khala. So our best shot is on Phala mine, and let's see. I mean, let's see. And that's the problem.
So Khala nodes or Khala worker nodes will eventually one day migrate to Phala nodes, right?
Yeah.
Because they not in this stage, it is just a experimental stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, understood. So all the questions are answered now. Any other last words you want to comment on?
I mean, I'm all good. And community, do you have thank you for all of the participators joining today. It's our first this kind of AMA happening in our Discord. And so it's an honor that you guys can join. And do you have any questions? You can maybe raise your hand and ask for the permission.
Yeah, if you have any question, please turn on your mic and please ask Marvin and Hong.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's it. And it's really thank you a lot, Ray, for the hosting. It's really good host today.
I see a question from our community chat room.
As I mentioned, Khala is an experimental and canary network. So the budget is quite limited. So the idea for Phala tokenomic is that we give like almost all of the the most part of the network tokens to secure workers. So yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay. So I guess we must win the parachain on Polkadot parachain auction, right?
I think it's just a time of issues.
Right.
I'm not.
You're so confident.
All you know that we joined the Kusama purchase law auction quite, how to say, aggressive, right? And we do some data analyzing now. I think even for the for the nice law on Kusama right now, the competition is quite tight. The parallel parachain, Khala is most ROI. Not the least KSM we released, but the very first priority we win for the slot.
Yeah, sure. I think since we won the first batch slot, so I have no doubt we can win the Polkadot slot, of course. Yeah,
I hope that.
Yeah, no doubt. Any last person who want to ask any questions to Marvin or Han in terms of technical phase or like operational stuff?
I guess also as a head up, I think from 1st October to 7th October is legally I would say holiday in China. So most of the team members will take a little bit rest after hard working in the past couple of months. But we will still be online on call for. It's okay to still shoot any questions. And, yeah, so that's it. I mean, it's just a heads up for the teams. It's not because we are getting quiet because of a legal problem. Not that. It's just a holiday. Yeah. So.
Yeah, of course. It is the biggest holiday in China, right?
Yeah.
So.
Not as important as a spring festival, but still one of the longest holidays in China. But yeah, we are still online. No worries. No worries. Just don't worry about it because some legal news. Not because of that. That's it.
All right. So Operation Brew Storm is still typing, and that'll be our last question.
Sure.
When do we think Phala will be updated to support the reduced core usage?
That question Han already answered before. Would you mind to repeat it?
Sorry, I was missed a little bit. What was the question?
It's in the chat room.
Yes.
Community chat room. Yeah.
Phala will be updated to support reduced core usage. Yeah, I think that's important. But now we don't have an accurate ETA for that. But I think, as I mentioned, there are a few priorities. First is to solve the existing bugs. Second is to introduce a way to save the state of P runtime. So next time if we restart P runtime, it can load the state instead of resyncing from scratch. And the next one, I think the third one is to reduce the CPU usage. That will be very nice for the entire community.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Operation Bluestorm. It's a good question. And let's call it a day. And thank you guys for joining at in a weekend. And thank you, Bree, for the hosting. Welcome you to join the family. And let's work it. And thank you for the time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Yeah.